Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel IIPS, the Educational Incubator. I am Sanira Waas, your host for today. Now we are in the part 3 of the MCQ discussion in the paper Introduction to Economics. If you are wondering what this is all about, you can find the link below in the description section. You can find the MCQ paper, go grab it, do it by your own, and even you can find the model answer sheet. You can check your answers by yourself and then you can come back to this discussion. And this paper of MCQs, according to the lesson Introduction to Economics, you have got 20 MCQ questions, and the discussion is split into 4 parts as part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. And you can find the link below in according to the playlist, where you can go there and you can check all our videos in regard to this discussion, and not only this discussion but even more the other discussions and other concept clarifications done by us through this YouTube channel. And today we're gonna discuss the Introduction to Economics MCQ discussion part 3 with Sanira Waas, and let's see what we have got from the question 11 onwards. Question number 11. With reference to the price mechanism in a free market economy, which of the following statement is true? With reference to the price mechanism in a free market economy. First answer eliminates the surpluses of good by allowing the market price to rise. Ensures price stability. The price mechanism is used by government to set up production targets. Falling prices will encourage firms to enter a market. The price mechanism acts as a rationing device. In here, basically, what you need to know is what is price mechanism, and where the price mechanism is being used. And plus, in here, basically, they are questioning regarding the functions of price. Let's see what is price mechanism. Price mechanism basically is identified as the invisible hand by Adam Smith, and it defines how the market problems are solved using the price. Either it is also being determined by the demand and supply forces. Price mechanism has its own functions, rather the price have its own functions. And we have got 3 special functions. One is information or signaling function. Second one, the incentive function. Third one, the rationing function. And in here, according to this question, the question they have asked, and the answer is the price mechanism act as a rationing device. As I mentioned, we have got 3 special functions of price, where with the signaling function, they give the signals to the consumers and producers to make their economic decisions. And even this will encourage as an incentive function, where for producers it will be giving signals regarding the profits, and for consumers they will receive the incentives regarding their self-interest, regarding their utilizations or utility maximization. And even the price will act as a rationing device, where the scarce resources will be allocated efficiently among the alternative users and even among the community. Because of that, the answer becomes, for the question number 11, the price act as a rationing device. We have got 3 functions and 1 function is being given as an answer, so obviously the price mechanism act as a rationing device. Question number 2, again, consumer sovereignty occur when? Consumer demand determines what is to be produced. Consumers pay less for a good than they are willing to pay. There is no advertising in a market. Demand equals supply. There is a choice in the market. Basically, they are asking what is the consumer sovereignty defined, the definition of consumer sovereignty. What we need to know is consumer sovereignty is only prevail in a free market economy. And because of that, the other market, other economic systems like the command economy, the traditionals, or even the mix, it is less likely that the 100% consumer sovereignty will be prevailed. Let's see what is consumer sovereignty. Consumer sovereignty is an economic concept where the consumers has some controlling power over the goods that are produced, and the idea that the consumer is the best judge of their own welfare. It means consumer has the power in the market, has that bargaining power in the market, not regarding the price basically, but regarding what need to be produced. Basically, this consumer sovereignty is being prevailed and will be prevailed only in a market economy, on a free market economy. Because of that, for question number 12, the answer is consumer sovereignty occurs when the consumer demand determines what is to be produced. Not the government decide, not the producers decide, but the consumer demand will decide what is to be produced and even what quantity need to be produced. Going to question number 13, they're asking a basic difference between a market economy and a command economy would be that government plays no role in a market economy. Prices both ration and guide in a market but are not a major guiding device in a command economy. Consumer choice does not exist in a command economy. Shortages of output or input occur in command economy. Market prices exist only in command economy. We do have, like the previously I mentioned, we do have the different types of economic systems. In there, the majority plays with the market economy and the command economy. These two economic systems are in both the extreme corners of one straight line, or rather one can say two sides of the coin. They do have their own differentiations, and they are in this question they are asking for one basic difference, and let's see what is that difference answer is. And it is identified that prices play a bigger role in a market economy, not in a command economy, but even in a market economy, prices play the biggest role. So prices act as a rationing device and even a guiding device in a market economy, but it is not a major guiding device in a command economy because every decision is made by a centrally planned authority in a command economy. Now one can argue, why don't that first answer is not coming into place? Government plays no role in a market economy. In here, the question is kind of tricky, where in this question they have not mentioned as a free market economy. Government plays no role only in a free market economy. A market economy is not 100% free. That's why it is mentioned as market economy. One can argue free market economy and market economies can also be one thing, but in economic jargon, it is not so, where in a free market economy, the government plays no role, but in a market economy, government plays a very limited or a slight concerned role so as to deliver other public goods and to have that welfare coming into play, right? And you can find there is a special classification and there is a differentiation, and you can find in our other playlist, the playlist I have created for the economic systems, you can have a detailed identification and detailed clarification regarding these classifications. Let's go to question number 14. A point inside the production possibility frontier. Now we are shifting to the production possibility frontiers, production possibility curves, right? Now the question number 14 asks, a point inside the production possibility frontier indicates some unemployed resources, is unattainable, is better than points on the production possibility frontier, indicates fully employed resources, illustrates the idea of opportunity cost. Let's illustrate some of the few of the concepts in a PPC and see. Let's see what is this PPC is all about. We know the PPC is a curve, production possibility curve, which emphasizes and highlights and present the maximum production capacity of an economy, right? If the curve denotes the maximum production capacity, we can find points inside the curve and points outside the curve. If this line, this curve denotes the maximum production capacity, we can find points outside and points inside. Basically, the points inside the curve denotes that we do have that maximum production capacity, but we do present and we do operate somewhat inside, which highlights as unemployment of resources or even underemployment, or either it can be short-term impacts like bad weather, strikes, or even economic recession, where the points outside the curve, which are beyond our capacity, beyond an economic possibility, were identified as economic boom or else a short-term expansion. And even it might be that want where we need to achieve, right? Because of that, we can identify that concept of scarcity, where the point A denotes a want and our production capacity operates somewhat far down below, where that gap is identified as scarcity. In accordance with these concepts, a point inside the production possibility frontier will be identified as indicating some unemployed resources in the production, in the economy, right? Going back to the question number 15, the last question for this part 4 discussion of the MCQ paper 1, question number 15. Italy is one of the countries that have been adversely affected by the current global pandemic. An immediate impact of the recession on the Italian economy is, we know it is so unfortunate that the current global pandemic of corona, COVID-19, is hitting impactfully for every economy. Such a way, Italy has been one of the countries which has been significantly adversely affected. The question asks, what is the immediate impact and how do you record that in a production possibility frontier? We have been given 5 answers. An outward shift in its production possibility frontier, an inward shift in its production possibility frontier, a movement from point inside the production frontier to the boundary, a movement to a point further inside of its production possibility frontier, an increase in prices of most goods because scarcity has increased. When you've been given these kind of answers, what you need to know is, it's a global pandemic. What will happen to the countries? Obviously, the countries like Italy is being adversely affected. So obvious that there can't be something outward shift. Nothing outward can happen. It have to be definitely decrement in our production capacity, or right, a point inside where which will be like a short-term impact. How to identify whether it's a long-term impact or a short-term impact? In the question, they have asked an immediate impact. Immediate impact in the term is a short-term impact, right? And even the recession, we know recession is a short-term impact where we only recognize them in a point inside the production possibility curve. The immediate impact of a recession will be identified as a point further inside the production possibility frontier. If the question asks, this amount of people have been died because of this pandemic, and what will happen to Italian economy in the long term, one can argue and say there is a shift of production possibility curve to inward, because the resource stock has been depleted, has been diminished because there has been death. Now, but in here, it is not been likewise. It is identifying only the short-term impact. The long-term impact might be a curve, an entire curve shift inwards, but this short-term impact is a recession of time. And even other than that, the question highlighted as recession, immediate impact of the recession. Because of that, we just mark a point inside the production possibility frontier. And that's it in the part 3 paper, part 3 of discussion of the MCQ paper. If you have not subscribed yet, subscribe us for more informative videos like this, and keep in touch. If you have any questions regarding our clarifications, you can comment below. And again, I'm mentioning you can find all the links in the description. Go check them and learn more with us. And that's it for today. Thank you, and we'll see you through our next discussion and the last discussion of the MCQ part 1 of the Introduction to Economics lesson. Thank you, and see you once again.